Yeah,
Cool.
ma'am,
I
I'm
got two
okay.
votes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now I'm not taking much of Gumit's time, but before that, I have two announcements to make, which I'm gonna make at the end. So now, Marketa, over to you. Please tell them the topic, and then we will go to Gumit.
I just want to say hi to Rishi as well, who connected late. Hi, Rishi. And
Hi all.
Basant is there as well. And Arya. Hi, Arya. Thanks for joining as well. Hi, Basant. Nice to see you. So, Gimet, am I right? We are on to digital intelligence today. Yay! So, right. So, very quickly, I always promise I will be quick. Today, I will keep my word, hopefully. So see, every week, what we do, I will send you something in the chat window. I mentioned to you last time that we try to do this, think about things, try to do them, try to become them, try to relate to others to help us get these buddies. Right now, we are each other's buddies in a sense that I'm committed to you. So if I'm telling you that you should behave in a certain way, I should make sure I do it myself too, right? So I will send you a list of sort of commitments, and you maybe will start seeing there what we have been doing so far in terms of our learner mindset, learner for life mindset, when we were doing growth mindset with Kimet. Then last week we were starting thinking ourselves in a way of we are being professionals, and now we will talk about ourselves and in terms of digital intelligence. And I just want, as I said, when there is this absolutely fascinating community which has been created around people that have been dealing with addiction. And they have this concept that they have these set of rules that they follow to help them over the addiction. Right? It can be quite serious addiction. A huge role of that is community, that there are people that meet themselves up and support each other on that journey to change. And you can apply exactly that same rules on and anything else in life. It has those basic aspects of it. First, you start with acknowledging that you may have some problem, something that you want to address, something that you want to change in life. So you start with that acknowledgement. I acknowledge, so I have done some self search. I have maybe done some personality tests, some assessment. I asked others for feedback, and they told me, and I said, okay, I can feel that I need to change. Something needs to change. So I start with acknowledging that, and then I follow certain steps. As I said, like that community has, I believe, 12 steps. We have created these few commitments for each of the capability that we are trying to develop. So I'm sharing the list with you there, so you can maybe start slowly getting reminded of those capabilities that we have already done, and the next 2 weeks I will share with you the rest of them. But it really starts. So if you want to become a growth mindset person, if you want to adopt a growth mindset, you need to understand that you committing yourself to focus, and you understand that with with commitment, it will lead to mastery, and that you choose continuous learning. So those are commitments you making so that you will be the better version of yourself in the future. But that commitment, it's daily, it's every day, it's today, and every day you sort of come back. And maybe on Instagram you come across, it's a similar system like these affirmations, when you say like, today I am a good communicator, today I'm a patient person, it's the same principle. But within our community E1133, our framework are those 5 strategic capabilities. That's why I'm just trying to make you understand like what it is kind of like, but still bring you back to focus on developing the learner you, the professional you, and today the digital you. So yeah, so I wrote it there so that I don't need to speak more. So I will now hand it over to Gimet or Gunjan to organize it whichever way, because I promised I won't do it much longer. If you have any questions, you can also ask in the chat window. I will be there. Otherwise, Gimet, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marketa. Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We have a lovely group tonight. It's so nice to see those familiar faces coming back every week. So, as Marketa was introducing, we're going to be talking about your digital intelligence today. And Gunjan is so kind to share the slides that we've prepared for you today. So, what is digital intelligence? Before we talk about this third capability that we're going to see, I want to take 2 steps back and remember and remind all of you what we've been covering so far. So, to start with our first slide, I'd like all of you to unmute yourselves one by one and to share in one word, what is your vision of success for the next 3 months? So you've had a bit of time to think about this. You don't have to share a very complicated vision or sentence, but if each of you can share one word that would resume, that would summarize your vision of success for yourself, what would that word be? I am all ears. So Akash, go for it.
My vision of success is that to complete my graduation, I get a stable job.
We just want to hear one word. Just one word.
Okay, just one word. So my vision of success is that firstly I have to get a stable job, and then I
No, Akash, just say one word.
Is it job?
No, not actually job. First job, and then a business.
Okay, so your vision of success is business.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, who's next?
Rishi has raised the hand.
Yes.
Ma'am, for me, it will be earning goodwill.
Earning goodwill. All right, very good. Arya,
Yeah.
Am I audible?
you are.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that would be for me growth.
Very good. Growth. Wonderful. Akshar,
For me, vision of success for the next 3 months, if I have to describe it by one word, it would be practicing. And
practicing.
the key message for my personal brand would be flexible.
Flexible. Wonderful. Great. Thank you. Who have we not heard from? Bazant?
Business for. Hello, can
Okay.
you hear me?
Yes. Business.
Yeah,
Okay.
business for the next 3 months.
Very good.
Deborati is raising hand. Come on, Deborati.
Yes.
Ma'am, for me, it will be learner.
Learner. Very good. I assume that for each of you, this word can mean different things. So that's what matters the most. Have we not heard from someone? I think we've heard from everyone, right?
Let's hear from Disha and Gunjan as well, and you, Gimet, as well.
Yeah. So Disha? So I'll share with you my vision of success for the next 3 months. It's community.
Okay. That's deep. I would say my 3-month vision would be stability. Yes, because I really need that for this point in time.
Wonderful. Marketa, did you have a vision of success?
Mine was community, okay.
Well,
and
we're
then,
aligned.
And then absolutely, and then also I like Aria's growth. I also thought about growth. So okay, so I will come with mine. My big topic is communication. I'm trying to improve my communication skills, so I'm putting communication.
Wonderful. All right, thank you, everyone. And then the second question, so that's what we saw last week. What would be the key message of your personal brand? So Akshar told with us his key message would be flexibility. That's wonderful. It can encompass so many things, but for him to be clear about this is really the first and most important step. Debarati, if you had your personal brand, which you do, which we all do, as we saw last week, what would be the key message that you want to share with the world?
It will be fearless.
Fearless. Wow, we love that. You're a fearless learner. Wonderful. Akash.
It will be to connecting more communities and more brands.
Can you
Connection?
repeat that?
To connecting more communities.
What is it,
Connecting-
Kima? Did you get it?
I heard connecting more.
Connecting with communities, I heard. Is that right,
Yes, yes,
Akash?
correct.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. So your personal brand would be you being a connector of communities. Very nice. And doing this through business, maybe.
Yes.
Wonderful. Rishi, have we heard from you?
Not yet decided.
Okay, you can have a few more seconds. Arya,
I would say thrive, not survive, if that's enough. I don't know.
thrive,
It's,
not survive.
I don't know if it
Wow.
works or not.
Well,
It's
it's your brand. You decide what you want to do with your
Amazing.
brand.
Yeah, I would go for it.
Honestly, guys, like what we're doing every week, it's not a class and you're not graded and there's no right or wrong answer. The only right answer is what is important and meaningful to you. Because this personal brand of yours is going to stay with you your whole lives. So you can and you should decide what you put in it. If you want to put thrive, don't survive, that's the message. If your message just survive, don't thrive, that's good also. It's really up to you. Who else have we not heard from?
Basant, maybe?
Basant,
Should
yes.
should I tell? Yeah, my personal brand will be like teamwork. Teamwork with my audience.
Very good. Teamwork. Powerful. So we have a lot of community and then fearlessness, thriving. Wonderful. We could almost create a brand altogether. Rishi, did you find some inspiration?
Yes, from Nike, it will be just do it.
Just do it. Great one. All right. So the most important is for you to have a key idea of what your message would be. And we're going to be going a little bit deeper with that this week with the digital intelligence. So as we've been seeing every week, we're covering one capability per week. And this week, we're going to be looking at the virtual you, which is how you can develop digital intelligence in your personal and professional lives. So the message here is that technologies are environments that shape us, and active and conscious engagement with technology is needed. Can you please unmute yourself, Akash? Or mute yourself, sorry. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes.
So the key words here are active and conscious engagement. That's what we're going to be looking at today. How we can make our use of and our participation in the digital world more active and conscious. So if we look at the 4 facets of this capability in the next slide, the virtual you consists of how you think, how you act, relate, and how you become your virtual self. So thinking is being a design thinker. It's being very intentional about how you use, how you participate in the digital realm. The act is how you put these thoughts into action. So it's your effective use of digital tools. The relate facet is how you use digital tools to create connections, to network online. And then the becoming aspect is how you collaborate, how you use digital tools to take your work and your vision to the next level. So in the next slide, we have a definition of DQ. Have you ever heard this word DQ? So you've heard of EQ or
Digital
IQ.
quotient.
Yeah, exactly. So IQ is your intellectual intelligence or intellectual quotient. EQ, that has become popular over the past decade or so, is your emotional intelligence. And now we have a new kind of intelligence, which is the digital intelligence. And it's been described as the sum of your social, emotional, and cognitive abilities that enable individuals to face the challenges and adapt to the demands of life in the digital world. And I really liked how they've broken this down into 3 levels of maturity. The first level is your digital citizenship. It's basically how you use digital technology in a safe, responsible, and ethical way. Basically, not using the digital world to create any harm for yourself or for others. And as we all know already, this is not that easy because most of us are creating some kind of harm to ourselves when we use our phones, social media on a daily basis without being mindful about this. The second level, oh, the numbers all appeared as ones. The second level of maturity is digital creativity, which is your ability to become part of the digital ecosystem and to create new knowledge, technologies, and content, and to turn ideas into reality. So that's really related to your personal branding, for example, how you are going to use the digital world to communicate about your brand meaningfully is typically digital creativity. And then the last level is digital competitiveness. So it's your ability to solve global challenges and to create new opportunities in the digital economy by driving entrepreneurship, jobs growth, and impact. So it's mastering a tool so well that you can create new opportunities using the digital world and digital tools. So we'll be mostly talking about the first 2 levels of maturity, and I'll give you a little activity that you can look at for digital competitiveness. So first and foremost, being digitally intelligent is of course about finding balance. Screen time overloads the sensory system, and experts and scientists have proven so many times over the past years the negative impact that screen time can have on our physical, mental, and emotional health. So I've written down a few of the effects that it can have: increasing stress, anxiety, affecting your sleep. It can even affect your physical health with obesity and cardiovascular disorders, etc. How many of you can just raise your hand for this one, think that you spend too much time uselessly on the digital platforms? Yeah? Okay. Marketa has balloons showing up to support her. So if we go on to our next slide, we have a few questions for you. If you can please share in the chat, what is your daily screen time? Most of the phones today share with their users their daily screen time. And the first step is knowing how much time we spend on our phones. I have a friend the other day who told me, I met someone, they spend 4 hours a day on their phone. I'm so shocked. This is so much. And then we checked her screen time and it was 9 hours and a half. And she wasn't even aware of it. She thought that 4 hours was a lot. I can't see your phone, Rishi. What does it say? Three hours and 19 minutes, not bad. So that's your daily average, or is it, Marketa, not bad, 3 hours, 57.
Actually, exams are coming, so making difference.
It helps, huh?
Good. So 3 hours, 5 hours. So the first step, we're not doing this to compare each other, but the starting point is knowing how much time we spend. Because, for example, my friend who thought 4 was a lot, but she was actually spending 9 hours and a half, maybe 4 for her now would be a considerable improvement, right? So the first step is knowing where we stand. Experts and scientists on behavioral well-being and also on vision, on your eye health, have shown that it's ideal to spend less than 2 hours of screen time outside of your work and studies. So for all of us here today, that would be spending a few less hours, maybe between 1, 2, and 3 hours less on social media, while keeping your work and your studies at the same level. So maybe the first activity for all of us here this week could be, can we spend less time on our screens outside of work and studies? I know it's a challenge, and it's a challenge for all of us, okay? But being intentional and being here as a community and setting this intention as a group can make it easier. And today's session, the purpose will be really to share some tips and tools with you to make this easier for all of us. One of the main ideas is how we can use our devices as a tool rather than us being a tool of our devices. You might notice that every time your phone beeps or rings, you go to it, so it's calling you and you answer, right? Rather than you deciding consciously to choose your phone or to use your phone when you've chosen. So that's just a mindset, but choosing to be the owner and the master of the tool is really the key idea of digital intelligence, of the first level of digital intelligence. So let's see how we can work on this in our next slide. So I have a tip that I've shared with many students in the past and that works really well. It's very simple, but very powerful. Every time you're studying or working, whether you're writing an essay, reading an article, doing any kind of work, and you are tempted to use your phone as a distraction most of the time, or we want to check something that can be very important, by the way. I recommend keeping a notepad next to you, a piece of paper, and every time you want to check your phone, you write down what you wanted to check, as if you were doing a to-do list. I wanted to send a reminder to my friend. I wanted to buy a new pair of shoes because my shoes have holes in them. So you can write all the times you're tempted to use your phone and write what you wanted to do as a to-do list. Don't check your phone. When you've decided that you've finished your work, you've finished your assignment, you've finished your research, you'll have a to-do list with maybe more or less items on it. And then you can be like, okay, I wanted to text this friend, I can do it now. I want to buy new shoes, I can do this now. Is that clear for everyone? It's very simple, but most of us have a tendency to check our phones while we're working or while we're studying because we have something very important to do. This is a good way of not forgetting what you need to do, but keeping things separate. And then you'll realize oftentimes that your to-do list, when you finish your assignment, a lot of the things were maybe not that important, but they seemed important when they were a distraction. Bazant, I can see you have your hand up. All good? Okay.
Yeah, all good.
Great. So, next. One of the key ideas of digital intelligence is having a clear intent. So every time you are tempted to use your phone, your computer, your iPad, whatever digital tools you use, I recommend asking yourself 3 questions. First of all, are you going there to consume content or to produce content? Am I going there to write an article, to publish a photo, to write to a friend, so to share something, to create? Or am I going there to receive something? Both are fine, but being clear on why we're going there is the first step. Because otherwise we can just turn our phone on and end up in some kind of black hole, and we don't even know how we ended up there in the first place. I can see all of you smiling, meaning we're all doing this, right? We all live in different countries, but we're all victim of the same types of behaviors. Second question, once you've decided, am I going to be a creator or a consumer? You can ask yourself, what exactly am I going to look for or create? So that's really setting a clear intention. That way, when you're going to go use your phone, use your computer, use your screen, you know where you're going and why you're going there. It'll make the process much more effective, and you're less likely to waste time or to lose yourself on an advertisement or get distracted on something that you didn't want to do in the first place. This is really the basis of digital intelligence, being the master of your tool and not the tool of the digital, being the tool of the digital tool itself. And then another question that actually one of my students at a university in the UK, she came up with this question, and it has helped her so much go from 9 hours a day on her phone to 3 hours a day on her phone. Every time she wants to use her phone, she asks herself, will this contribute to my growth and my vision of success? So by now, we all have a pretty clear idea of where we're headed, what success means to us. Every time you want to use your phone, if you have a clear intent and you know how it will contribute to your growth, and you can even formulate that mentally in your mind, how will this contribute to my growth? That way, you know that when you're picking up your phone, you're doing this. And even if you're picking up your phone for a distraction, but you do it with intent. I've been working really hard today, and I need 10 minutes of pure distraction just to enjoy myself and relax. This contributes to my growth because I've been overworked today. I've been focusing so much. I need a moment of pure just relaxation. This is an intent, but it has to be clear. Does that make sense for everyone? I don't know how all of you use your phones, but I guess today in the 21st century, we all have pretty similar ways of using our phones and spending our time, right? All right. This is going to get a little bit deeper in the next slide. So we're not going to be doing this activity right now together. This is an activity that can be done over several weeks. So it's connecting what we did last week with personal branding and this week with digital intelligence. It's about taking your digital intelligence to the next level with the creativity aspect. Every single day or every single week, depending on your choice, you can post about yourself and your personal brand on the channel of your choice. So that can be email if you have like a newsletter community. It can be LinkedIn for most of us, our professional networks. It can be Instagram or any other type of channel that you consciously choose to use. And so you can take a screenshot of this. Of course, the session's going to be shared with you as well. So those are 8 different prompts for posts about your personal brand. So those would theoretically be 8 different posts. So I would recommend, if you were to write about your personal brand and yourself, to first post about your backstory. That means writing about your background, where you come from, telling your professional network a little bit about you, where you come from, what your education was like, and creating a post about this. This is like the backstory of your personal brand. A second post can be about the main problem that you are solving or that you aim to solve. This can be, of course, as an entrepreneur, if you want to become an entrepreneur, but also as an employee or just as a project participant. What would be the main problem that you want to solve? And writing a post about this. A third post for your personal brand would be about what misunderstandings people have about your field. So all of us have selected a specialization. Maybe you're experts in particular fields, or you're becoming experts in particular fields. And maybe the general public has misunderstandings about your field, about what being an engineer is like, or about any other aspect of your field. And the third post, your duty would be to identify a misunderstanding and write about this as you being an expert in that field. Fourth post, what makes you credible, right? So your personal brand, you chose your field. What makes you the best person to speak about this? So for this, you can talk about your expertise, your experience. You can talk about your values as a human being, about your unique selling point, how your opinion may be different from other people's. If you've had clients or colleagues in the past that have shared positive feedback, you can also share this as adding to your credibility. Your fifth post about your personal brand would be something a bit more personal. So in this one, you can share a personal story, an anecdote. It can be something funny or something shocking. It can be really anything that can feed your personal brand and inspire others. I had a student last year. I coached him. He was a master's student from Sri Lanka, and he wanted to talk about his vision of inner leadership. And he started his speech with a personal story where he was back home at the beach, and he saw people drowning, and no one on the beach was doing anything. And he told himself, well, if I don't go, and I know how to swim, if I don't go and help those people, those kids, they were kids that are drowning, well, no one's going to do it. So this was a personal story, and it was a way for him to introduce his topic on inner leadership. So you can find something completely unrelated to your field, something that's much more personal, but connect it meaningfully to your personal brand and your core message. 6 is a little bit more serious. It can be a case study. So it can be a project that you've worked on. It can be a client that has been really satisfied with your services, a project, anything that you've completed that would illustrate your expertise. Then 7, we have a post on feedback where you can share a screenshot of someone who has loved working with you, working for you, or you can have, even better, a video of a colleague or a partner who has wonderful things to say about you that would reinforce your brand. And then your 8th post would be about your why, your dream, and your vision. So this is a framework just to guide you in making your personal brand come alive in the digital world. Ideally, a really powerful way of launching your personal brand is doing 1 post per day. So this is a wonderful challenge. Who's up for it? Put your hand up.
I'm scared every day.
Once a day, so we can have it as a challenge once a day. We can also have it every other day. I think we can decide together, depending on who's up for it. We can fix a timing and then engage and commit to doing that.
I personally definitely need like at least every other or every 3 days or something. I can't do every day. It's too much. What are
Who
other
would
people's opinions, please?
So the
Akshar,
secret with this is
sorry.
that the more you're going to think about it, the more your personal brand is going to become clear and you're going to have more clarity and understanding of your brand. So even if right now, today, you don't have a clear brand, a personal brand, this exercise is going to help you bring this clarity. And the fact that we have to share it with the world on the digital platforms, it's a bit scary, right? Everyone's going to read what you write. But this is a wonderful way of bringing clarity. What do I actually want to share with the world? So wait, who's in exam week right now? Who can't do this because it's exams? No one has exams anymore. Yeah, you do? Okay. Well, you know what? Markets are going to do it together. We're going to lead the way. We'll connect with Marketa to do this together. And you guys can keep this for when you feel ready to start sharing your personal brand. Those are prompts. Those are here to guide you and to make your digital presence more clear, more mindful, and more intelligent. And of course, aligned with your vision of success. I would like to close today's session with another tip for you guys, which is about the third level of maturity, which we saw was digital competitiveness. So this is, once again, maybe something that is not relevant for you today. Maybe it is. As engineers, I'm not quite sure. So maybe you guys can tell me a little bit more about your thoughts on this. But here, it's about mastering one tool that will make you the best expert in your domain. So depending on all of your different expertise, what would be one digital tool that would make you stand out from everyone else in the crowd? For example, if your job is to make podcasts, of course, the digital tool you need to master would be having the best possible sound system and studio so that your podcasts are the best quality. Okay? This is an example. Do you guys, as engineers and future engineers, have in mind one tool, a digital tool that would make you the best in your area?
Maybe I'll start with it. As a marketer, we do a lot of tools, and me as one person doing a lot of jobs. But currently, email marketing, students, all the emails you get from us, it is from a tool, so that I could send one email to all of you at one go. So that tool, I think I would go with it. And the tool name is MailChimp, just in case if you want to learn.
Thank you, Gunjan. Can we hear from the engineers in the room? I'm sure you guys have tools that are so specific that we haven't heard of them yet.
Yeah, there are like if you're talking about mechanical engineering, so there are three segments actually: computer-aided design, computer-aided engineering, computer-aided manufacturing. So you have three segments under which there are multiple plethora of softwares for each of these three segments. Supposedly, if you're talking about design, so there are softwares like SolidWorks, AutoCAD, then there is CATIA, there is Fusion 360 from Autodesk company. Then if you're talking about engineering, computer-aided engineering, so in the case of computer-aided engineering, you have ANSYS, you have Creo. There are many softwares. And in manufacturing, if you're talking about computer-aided manufacturing, Then there is NX Siemens from the Siemens company. Then there is NX CAD. Then and Fusion 360 is also there. So some of these softwares are such that they provide you uh, all the three in one, and some of them are specifically for a particular task. Like ANSYS is particularly for any sort of analysis, any sort of engineering studies which have to be done upon it. Rest are design and manufacturing.
So Akshar, if you had to become an expert in one tool, which one would it be?
That's a tricky question. So I would bring it down to at least two segments, engineering and design, because I feel manufacturing segment of mine is a bit weak. So I would preferably go with engineering and design because they do go together
Mm-hmm.
at the
Okay,
same time.
very
Like
good.
say supposedly you're making a gear, or you're making some sort of a wheel or a sprocket. Supposedly you have to design it, you have to impart some materials to it, what material has to be given to it, then you have to test the strength of the material, whether it will be able to withstand the load which you are putting on it. So then engineering and design both go together and at the same
Mhm.
time, that time.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So thank you so much for sharing this. All of you can start, all of us here can start thinking how we can cut down on the digital tools that don't serve our personal brand and step up on the ones that do, that are going to make us stand out. So I'm going to say, if Instagram is not helping you build your personal brand, maybe you can lower a bit of Instagram and increase your expertise in another digital tool. But maybe Instagram is your expert tool for some people, you know? So I'm not, judging Instagram itself, but this is related to what we were saying about intent. So you can see that on the third bullet point, I wrote vertical knowledge is superior to horizontal knowledge. Maybe you guys have an idea of what this means, but so vertical knowledge is knowing one thing really, really, really well with a lot of depth is so much more powerful and will get us so much further than knowing a lot of things about a lot of different topics. So knowing one thing about 10 topics is not going to get us very far, but knowing 10 things about one topic will make us stand out and will reinforce our personal brand so much more. So remember this in the digital world also. Knowing one program, how to use it very well, is better than knowing how to use 10 programs very superficially. So these are my last words for this session on digital intelligence. As always, it's an introduction just to get us thinking, to get our brains and ideas moving, and to step out a little bit of our comfort zone. I think Marketa and I are going to step out of our comfort zone. You can keep an eye out for our personal branding challenge that we're going to be doing together. And we definitely hope that you guys will do it too, because we're all here to grow together, right? If you have any questions, any comments, any ideas you want to share, the floor is now all yours.
No questions, comments, Akash, Rishi, Basant. Maybe just tell us if what you liked in today's session the most, what you learned, one thing that you learned today.
How to reduce screen time.
Yes, we talked about it. Wonderful. Akshar, Akash, Basant, what is your take on today's session?
They have learned that mastering the one tool in digital is better than studying, doing in lots of other tools. So that will be okay. It can be like editing or any one thing that can help me.
Thank you, Basant. Akash, Akshar, what is your take from today's session?
To learn about more digital tools.
Right. We discussed about it. Thank you, Akshar.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway out here was that I feel we can use many tools at the same time, and we can also increase our screen timings, but we have to manage that. It is we using the digital as a tool and not the tool using us. I mean, it doesn't go the vice versa.
That's very deep, and you actually understood the depth of what we were trying to tell you. So yeah, thank you, Akshar. I'll quickly go to Arya. Arya, what is your takeaway from today's session? If you'll just say one takeaway, then what's that?
It really helped me understand about how we in our daily lives contribute to totally focusing on the digital tools and how we actually understand how it works and all. So I guess if that makes sense.
Thank you. Deborati, any one takeaway from your side? What did you learn today from the session?
Haven't think about it. It was like a little bit of network issue. I left.
That's okay, no problem. I would be anyway sending you guys the recording so you will get to know. But this was a jest, and you guys are sort of given the summary to everybody. So, like, everybody, like what they learned, what they not. And we also got to know what was the effective slide from all of them. So, yes, we also understood in a way. Markita, Gumit, do you have anything to say? Because I have two announcements to make.
Okay. For me, I just want to thank Gimmet. I again loved and learned a lot. I love her idea of how I was applying to my own habits and tying it to the vision. So if it serves you, it's okay. I mean, but even then, just do it consciously. So if it's tied to your vision, so I love that idea. So if, for example, you're more should be as a professional focusing on LinkedIn and don't waste too much time on Instagram, that won't help you. I personally try to avoid not to sound like a grandmother but I have this I'm by nature quite a control freak. I need to have everything under control, and I really noticed how much algorithms how and I actually watch a documentary. You may know those social networks documentary on Netflix, how algorithms make your behavior change in a way that you have absolutely no chance to perceive it. It's too much faster than how many years our brain took to develop versus how fast technology is developing. It's so exponential, so fast that your brain, your physical brain, has no chance against it. So my appeal to you is just be very careful about your brain health. Your brain, your body, it's the most valuable thing you have. So be very careful, be very mindful how you use it. Don't waste it. Those algorithms are way smarter, way faster than us. So we need to keep it under control because all that the fact that we coming back to it means we're getting addicted to it, and it's not our fault. It's made that way. So I have the tendency to be mindlessly doing it. It's not our fault, but again, it's only up to us to be back in charge of it. So we can use the media, but let's direct our energy the right way. So thank you, Gimet. You made me that given that vision thing could help me redirect my energy and time. Yeah, that's my thing. Thanks.
Thank you, Markita, and thank you, Gumit, because every time I come for this session, I myself learn a lot. So, and you're the master of what you're doing, because the way you tell us, the way you present, I think it is very simple. It's just not me. I think even the students will agree. You just tell, and then it just fits in our head. So, thank you so much for whatever you're doing for us. Akash, you have raised your hand. Do you want to say something?
Yes. So, do you have any task for this week?
Yes, we do. The slide, Gumit, the slide that you said that people should be doing it for all the upcoming weeks, right? I'll just quickly share my screen and show you so you all know what is the task. I'm sharing my screen.
So the activity for this week is actually just practicing being more, having a clear intent and reducing your screen time to your set amount. So it's not something, we're not going to come and check this. You can, of course, in your folders, write a reflection piece about how you can clarify your intent, about what digital tools serve you, which ones don't serve you. You can reflect on everything we saw today. Um, this one about personal branding is for you guys who want to do it. It's a big activity, right? It can be done over several weeks. So if you choose to engage in this one, so you can keep this even for the future, for when you'll be applying for jobs or starting a company. If right now you're just a student and you don't, want to communicate about your personal brand online, that's fine. It's just a framework for how we post and create online. If some of you are motivated, tell us, tell Gunjan and Marketa and me, and we'll do it all together. It'll be more fun to do this as a group.
Thank you, Gumit. Akash, you got your answer right. So basically, if you uh, screen time wise, if you do any sort of thing like 4 hours to 2 hours, 4 hours to 3 hours, whatever, show the difference, put that in your personal folder. And this one, we can do it together. Personal branding, meaning posting something on LinkedIn or any sort of channel you use. And if you decide that you want to do it, any one of you, just get in touch with us and we could do it together. So those two activities. Now coming on the announcements, it's already been 3 weeks till today, and you guys are doing really great job because Disha has done an incredible job seeing your personal folders, getting in touch with you. She must be chatting with you personally, saying, guys, do you need any help, or is there anything that you want from us? Activity wise, anything. So yes, for that, Disha, thank you. And uh, because it's 3 weeks now, we wanted to do something exciting for you guys, which will be leadership board, because now we could actually see who's doing what and who's contributing where, and like what is the level of your activities, how good you're listening to our sessions and everything. So yes, next week we will be coming with one announcement. We will be coming one leaders board where we will be telling you that okay, maybe Akash is doing this, or Akshar is like leading the first, or maybe the Deborati is second, and then what you could do to be coming on the first position, something like that we would be coming. And then the second one, Disha will be in touch with you guys, because this is third week already. Like I said, I would be needing your one photo headshot. It's like normal formal photo, and whatever is your thought so far about this session, about this whole program, I mean. So one liner of testimonial, or maybe like one sentence. How did you feel? Good, bad? Even if you feel bad, tell us, and tell us the constructive feedback, and then we will take it as a feedback and then improve. So this is something we would be needing from you guys. Disha will be in touch with you. So these two things, and next week please do come with that hope that your name would be coming on the slide, or your name would be coming in the email. So yeah, that too announcement. And for now, I would quickly ask Arya. Arya, please turn on your camera, because this is our
Can
every
I
week's
join with
ritual.
another device? Because this is a PC and I don't have the webcam. So can I join with my mobile
Yes, please do
quickly?
that.
We'll wait for you,
Yeah.
Arya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time, Makita, do you want to share anything?
No, no, no. Thank you. I want everybody to have beautiful Friday night and not being held longer here.
Hi, Arya. It's nice to see you finally. Cool. Okay, so Arya is there. Basant, please turn on your camera. Everybody, please give me a Friday smile. I'm gonna take the screenshot as usual.
Camera is already turned on, man.
What's that?
My camera is already turned on.
Yes, we could see you. One more. So just keep smiling. Okay, I have got it. Akash, you're still raising your hand. Do you have something to say?
No, no, I thought it's network
No.
glitch. Right.
Okay, then I think we are done with the session. You will get your recording email. You will be having your activity summarized in that email, so you can follow that. If anything, Disha is there, Marketa is there, myself is there, Gwimit is also there in the group. So please feel free to get in touch with us. See you next Friday. And yes, Disha will be getting in touch with you guys for your formal headshots. So be ready with your beautiful pictures as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Or avatars.
Yeah,
Have a
avatars
lovely
as well, right.
weekend.
Bye bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.